Los Ratones just took on LFL Seed 2 EC Yapon Corp, a French esports team in the finals of the EMEA Masters Winter, and absolutely destroyed the previous viewership record. In spring of 2021, the EMEA's record was 377,531, but that was no match for the numbers Caedrel's Los Ratones are bringing in with the 2025 Winter Finals, capturing in a staggering 470,000 plus viewers, the highest in history for a Tier 2 competition. For comparison as well, last spring the viewers only got as high as 152,999, a fraction of the series we're actually just about to cover. So no mucking around, let's dive right in. You already know with an opening sequence like this, both teams are showing they're ready to fight for the finals. But why are 4 people contesting Raptors, man?
Get that Smite first. Velja is trying to turn for a target, but Smite is down. Airborne for the time being. Prime gets onto Velja. The Ignite's down as well. Surges flashes over in front of 4 people. Now, he will get the kill, but he gets 4 shot by Crownie.
After a period of stagnation and the gold score tied, we see the first real skirmish of the game over the 3rd dragon.
Flash doesn't connect, but Howling pops the ulti on the other side. Velja has to reconnect as it's a defensive ult from Baus. The curtain call does not get a kill. In the end, it's only helping out to zone, and then control. Certus with a quick hit. Half HP, health bar's not good. Los Ratones have played the waiting game. A deadly flourish onto enemy jungler. Theocak is now low himself, zoned out as Nemesis. Auto attacks almost finds him and Impale. Going over to Baus. He takes a bullet time as well.
With Dragon Soul on the cards for Los Ratones, there's a lot at stake. But are nerves commanding the play here? There's 3 kills in 26 minutes.
Fast though is the curtain call in front of the Dragon. Theocak has to flash out. The Tempered Fate buys them time. Shockwave is the 2-man, but the Smite is in front. And a Mountain Soul given. Los Ratones hit the mark hard in game 1 as Velja now has the Heartbreak out. Crownie thinks about a re-engage. Teleport for round 2.
With Atakan and Baron both up on the top side, finding vision and space is paramount. And with the gold tied literally exactly at 43.2k each, this fight is going to come down to the pilots.
LR, because it's turning into a Baron.
Nemesis flash pulverized though. He flashes to get through the magical journey, and Prime went for a trip himself. Bullet time layers down in the choke. That's a great ulti from Xan Irelia, but Prime is still in the middle of nowhere with the curtain call on his face. That takes him down. A reset for Velja. Impale into the reset. He's big though, but Velja gets a 3-man knockup. The Chaos Storm trying to do some extra work though. Baus with a 4-man taunt. It won't matter because he doesn't have any damage by his side.
This could be a Baron.
IJC, the setup afterwards was perfect to take the Atakan from their hands.
As IJC pressure Los Ratones base with their newly acquired Baron buff, Baus attempts to reset waves. But with an Elder Dragon in 20 seconds, a mistake here would be very costly. And we wouldn't make one of those, would we, Baus?
Losing Nash, losing Inhib, and potentially losing Elder Dragon as well. Really just...
Sam. Oh, he's got
losing
him.
Baus.
He gets the reset on the auto. Baus is dead. That's a horrible time for Baus. Died 20 seconds until the Elder spawns. 50 for Baus. That was not a good death.
Off the back of Baus's mistake, the Elder buffed IJC looked to break Los Ratones' top inhibitor, mirroring the pressure of their already broken bot side. But Los Ratones aren't ready to give game 1 just yet.
Around.
Well, Shockwave is going to find him though, and there is enough damage if you're wondering. Good buffer! Great buffer from Velja. The ult from Rekkles too, as IJC are in numbers down. They send out the equalizer, but Baus re-engages with the curtain call. It's okay until Baus dies for the trade. The burn from Leandres and the burn from Elder.
Los Ratones are slow to respond to Baron number 2, having to deal with super minions. But to get to the objective, they have to move past the zoning power of IJC.
He uses Command Protect for the time being, but Velja finds Prime, wants the kill. The Chaos Storm is down. The Heartbreaker gives a reset. Baron is going to die, but Los Ratones are looking for the fight. Baus needs to stun. The 4th shot, almost finding the kill. Velja looking for a new angle. Remember, this guy has been ahead all game, and now he wants to flaunt it with a root down. This Skarner's going to drop, and Baron enhanced recalls being channeled and not taken. The 3rd kill going to be coming up right now as Velja might get stunned up, and Certus has an option, but Command Protect, thank you from Nemesis. He screams out as a 3rd kill, eventually going to be dropping down.
Ooh,
they're delaying it. They are scattering the recalls.
With Elder number 2 on the cards, tensions couldn't be higher. Let's see if Los Ratones' 5,000 gold deficit will have an effect on this fight.
We need the break.
Yes, we got it!
Please.
We got it! Come on, play the fight! Play the fight! Play the fight! Velja wins against Skarner! Victor! That's gonna be it! That's gonna be it! Can we play the end? Can we play the end? Can we play the end? Get some speed on that bitch! Get some speed on that bitch! No flash!
I think.
Come on, get him before the wave!
I got him.
Can we end mid? Can we end mid? 40 seconds! Everyone shut the fuck up! Everyone shut the fuck up!
Dude, someone nerf Velja. His form since Los Ratones actually started playing pro games has been so insanely consistent. As we load into game 2, I'd like to remind you that this is Fearless Draft, so every game is fresh pick and ban, meaning there's no repeat matchups. And also quickly, if you do enjoy this type of content, a sub to the channel goes a long way. Thank you in advance. The first play of the game happens early on again, showing both teams are as hungry for game 2 as they were the first, with IJC leading with a level 2 gank.
Only on Hansam D, and you got to think, hang on, where are the rest of them? Prime, his hook is back up off a cooldown as well, so even being under turret is not going to be safe. Crownie getting saved by Rekkles, flash away, stunned up, and he might die. Up into melee range, but under turret, it's not successful yet. Hansam D moves in. The turret ramping's big, but a block by Theocax from the Gleaming Quill, first blood.
With Baus falling to more proxy shenanigans, Nemesis is focused on mid, but some fancy footwork gives Los Ratones time to respond.
Nemesis is caught out, runs into Prime. He lost his flash before from this Blitzcrank. Scatterweak doesn't connect. He sidesteps the ult from Theocax as Rekkles helps out. Certus almost dead to the ultimate. Velja will finish the job. A 1-for-1. Nemesis, as a flashless Syndra, took so long to die. Because of that, I think Velja might get even more. Prime's in trouble. Velja almost kills Theocax by himself. This Blitzcrank will be slowed to oblivion with no flash to get away. The overdrive's going to expand and put him down to 200 MS. A kill over to Crownie as well. And just when you think Nemesis caught with his pants down, he pulls him back up.
With the hover of Prime, Certus looks to chip on plates, but FaZe Crownie denies any free gold taken here.
In those drags.
The Nemesis, though, the pressure will continue. The rocket grab somehow hits, but the damage from Certus, what you have to worry about. Good scout of the week under turret. He gets some extra follow-up, but the arrow finds his mark, gets a slow on Prime to add insult to injury, and Certus is stuck for ages. He doesn't have those Merc treads yet, and so the kill goes back over.
As Prime has been moving around the map to support so much, he is underleveled, and so an easy target for Los Ratones. But as we've seen in even the most even skirmishes, IJC won't let a kill go for free.
Jungle is autoed to death. Certus with the arrow again, doesn't want to revisit the deja vu, but Velja running the map and running the game. That'll continue, but Certus running out will be even better. Theocax comes in with a reverse trade, and Rekkles drops to the floor.
Seeing an opening on Velja's buffs, IJC look to invade, but Los Ratones detect something isn't right and collapse.
Was also there.
This is spotted out thanks to Ash. I mean, red buff will go down. I think in the end, no, it's not Velja to pick it up, but he'll get it regardless. It's a shutdown over to Nemesis. Going too deep here is IJC. And kills are being donated to Los Ratones. Nemesis just picked up a double.
As Nemesis solo attends bot lane, IJC look to move, and some very nice clicks by Prime make Neme an easier target than he should have been. But someone needs to remind IJC that Velja is fed. With Los Ratones taking their second dragon of the game, Baus gets arcaned by an Ambessar.
Baus might be dead here, as no help, but there should be a reset, and Baus will die to a solo kill.
Prime is again the target of Velja's cease and desist, but is this too deep?
8 doesn't seem too good. And it's going to be Velja who goes in under turret against a Blitzcrank you don't normally see, but Rekkles silence and the arrow. They're not going to let him press his buttons until about now. But the hook is flushed away from through the curtains. He'll fly as Crownie gets the kill, but Nemesis is caught as a frontliner. Certus is now firing away with Hansam D, and we just talked about these 80 carries from his Japon core.
With Los Ratones already 2 dragons towards Sol, IJC need to take one off them, but a redeploy into the bot side Atakan could be a bit too much taken.
Hoping that they'll step in, a 2-man scout of the week. Rekkles set up the team fight we talk about with the arrow on top. It's perfect! If I was in Italy, I would say Mamma Mia, but this is Paris, and IJC are running back to the Eiffel Tower. At least for now, the poke with the shutdown sets it up. Baus is under a tier 2 turret with the range from Syndra helping him get away. Good scout of the week as Nemesis steps up to the plate, but Los Ratones not losing a single person. Choreographed.
With all outers down, Los Ratones' next focus is mid. But again, with the gold so close, any fight that happens isn't going over easy.
Aggressively forward with an arcane chip while Los Ratones are getting caught out, but it's Baus again. Frontlining with the quickness. Now the re-engage. Under turret, he cares not. It's Rekkles who sets it up, but the scat of the week is gorgeous from behind. Los Ratones are healthy enough to continue their onslaught. Under mid turret, 4 versus 5 with the minion wave as well. Nemesis is sending them away. And once again, his own control, huge as Prime, gets the flush out of Crownie.
IJC make the jump on a freshly spawned Baron, but Who let the Baus choke out in the pit?
One at 4K, there's an attempted steal, don't flip it. It might be leaked by Los Ratones, out of the pit. There's
Bousy! It's Bousy on the chump! It's Bousy on the chump! He gets it! Big stun from Nemesis on the side! Big AoE damage! Velja gets silence on the Q! Flashes to the side! Baus flash silence! Stops the Ezreal! Is Velja gonna go down? Yes, he is! In comes Crownie! Over the wall! Blast cones in! Onto both their carries! And takes them both down! Now it's just the Mbessa! Has flash. Rekkles looking for the knock-up. Baron in our favor. QE misses. A lot of damage from this Mbessa. Needs to be careful. Level 16 doesn't have the ult yet. Knock-up's not gonna connect. Just let Baus do the work. Knock-up is gonna come through. Nemesis with the finish! And the boys get Baron! The boys push him back!
With Los Ratones looking to work toward their Dragon Soul, numbers are there for early presence, but as both teams respond with TPs, the gold gap starts to widen. Also, can I point out that 1, 3, and 7 Baus has a Medjayas? In the finals, this is the most Baus thing I've ever seen. Following their only wave, Los Ratones look to begin their siege on the IJC base, and FaZe Crownie strikes again. Off the back of Los Ratones taking the IJC bottom inhib, Baron number 2 spawns, but early scouting might just make this one a little easier to take.
That happens after you've said it, you're kicked from the cast.
Well, that's fine. Let's just see what happens here. I mean, Los Ratones right now don't seem to be stopped, and no, that's definitely not going to be the case here. thebausffs is caught out, and as we said in this game, he was always behind. He's always trying to find elements in the game, but
with bottom supers pushing in, Hextech Soul Los Ratones synchronize their pressure mid, and knowing this may be their last-ditch effort to defend, IJC pounce.
Can't hold on.
putting Los Ratones one step closer to the finals. The arrow doesn't fly. Prime finds a good hook, but again onto Velja. Will it be enough? He flashes away and turns his gaze. A great ultimate in retrospect as now thebausffs once again the new target, but look at Nemesis go. He lines them up and shoots them down like they're tin cans on a wall. Baus flashes forward because he's got one thing to say, and that's delicious. Los Ratones 2-0, the NLC beating down on LFL is not what you expected to hear.
As finals nerves set in, Game 3 is off to a slow start, but preparation for Dragon number 1 always leads to first blood.
He has to flash himself, he gets up against the corner, they try to predict, no vision. Velja now up against red wall, but he's about to get snapped back. Certus jumped on in the meantime, his flash burnt before his Nemesis goes in for the all trade. He has a jump, he has a spear, and that's thebausffs into his rear. The ult sent out, Certus is running for his life as there's no zap to continue and connect. Los Ratones now in their own jungle are getting threatened out by the 2v2. Velja trying to help out with his primal surge up and ready, but the spear doesn't connect. Crownie walking forward with the Lulu. He feels confident, but Xan can say the same thing. Prime is zoned out, but Crownie still sticking around. What was he thinking there?
This is just Baus proxy things. I have nothing to say here. We've all seen it before.
Baus thinking about trying to dive to the turret. Prime is here. He's tagged out in the end, so Baus will die, but he's going to die to the support.
But look how much time he's wasting.
Look how much he knows turret range as well. I love it. Like, bro, Baus is, as you said, wasting so much time. Next wave comes in. It's delayed, so naturally it'll be a bit of a push.
With both bot lanes low on resources, a perceived 2v2 causes Crownie to overstep, and IJC make a very satisfying capitalization.
Real pain. Here comes Crownie.
Yeah, but the minion wave's taken away. Crownie has shocked them and awed them, but Xan is willing to step up. Crownie trying to play the long con with Rekkles. Just flashed on in, I believe. No, there's a delay. As Crownie flashes away, down thebausffs. Lilting Lullaby is going to connect onto 2. Rekkles with his ulti available. Whoa! Not going to be able to pop it.
Just more Baus proxy things. I honestly have to say though, this guy's clicks always impress me. Such nice movement in tight spaces. He's always working between 1 or 2 enemy champions between enemy turrets as well, just where he likes to be.
Coming out, but explosive cast, okay, kited away. Baus, no way. Swell speed, come on, surely. Flash committed. thebausffs gets kill number 3.
With IJC taking their first dragon of the game, they rotate mid, but a fight between the ADs calls both teams to respond. Also, what is Velja on?
Indeed, Crownie just battling away. Baus coming in to stay, and Xan is going to get help from the deer, but thebausffs set in the middle now without his ulti. Velja finally joined in. He pounces and he's looking for his first kill.
Whoa,
his first setup, but it's not found. Howling also getting into the fray as Baus needs a slow, needs to get out. Velja now on the wrong side and spears, and Xan means nothing. It's a flash away. thebausffs still chasing without his own flash, though. One spear will take him out, but it's only Howling who's in sight for now. Velja jumping over the wall. It's sneaky as all hell. The spear! Velja, that outplay was insane!
Howling has found Baus a few times, but now Baus is on one of his signature picks, Gragas. Let's put some pressure back with Velja.
The biggest part is Velja looks for yet another unstoppable for the time being now. Into the Cougar form, the explosive cast sends him up against the wall. The all out makes him squishy, but Velja's taking some turret shots. However, the spear this time does. and a shutdown over to Baus.
With Los Ratones numbers topside, a repeat play is made onto Howling, and side lane priority is secured for Baus. But is anyone keeping an eye on IJC mid?
Up here as well. Baus doesn't do enough damage yet, but Velja again trying to get the spear, but it's taking so long. Shocked and Howling and set up against the turret. The ulti's there. Crownie almost dies, but they finally commit. While in a turret mid is the cost. Almost lost for Ratones.
Atakan spawning bot side is the next point of contention, and beautiful synchronicity by Nemesis and Rekkles give Los Ratones a shutdown. But a redeploy off Dragon from IJC catches a wandering Simon. Los Ratones stare at Atakan with a 1500 gold deficit, but a missed Cassante sec from Howling means IJC miss a lot of options for this skirmish.
Crownie is soloing this, but Velja jumps in. Atakan is going to drop. The flower's exposed. Crownie sitting, taking as much as he can as IJC are ulting upon, but there's the Cassante ulting dead meat.
As the aforementioned gold gap shrinks, Baron is started by Los Ratones, but with dual ADC power, IJC may not have a chance to respond.
He's going to roll in over some traps. 3k is going to be a flip, but no! Smite before the deer gets near the headlights.
Los Ratones siege mid with their newly found Baron buff, and as Nemesis tries to make a play, the spotlight is quickly returned to Velja.
Free.
Oh, it's so tough.
Found him. Velja over the wall, and we're back to jungle superiority.
Now, I don't know why Baus is called the Messi of League. With ults like this to kick off plays that we so consistently see from him, I'd say he's more of a LeBron, and Los Ratones siege the IJC base for the final slam dunk.
Who proxies and ints his games, but then suddenly he can team fight. Theo Cac's about to get that to the face as Baus goes Betty bye-byes while Nemesis comes in and flies. Prime against the turret, just gets chunked out. Howling's meant to be a tank, but Crownie's diving it. IJC are getting dopey on the limits now as well, and the NLC, it feels like, have finally reached to the point. 3 are dead, 30 seconds left, and Los Ratones are looking at a 3-0.
4 years and 2 heartbreaks, but third time is a charm.
You can say one thing and one thing only, that Caedrel's project was a respect. Once again, Europe is consumed by the plague of rats. And here the NLC will stand, hoisting up EMEA Masters for winter 2025, your new champions and lords.
And with that, Los Ratones are your 2025 EMEA Winter Champions. But I do have to remind the audience that even though they've taken everything, and I mean everything, under the LEC, they can't actually compete in the LEC without a slot, which is very expensive. But who knows? With a team as adept and entertaining as the Rats, I'm sure that they'll find a way. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!